There are exactly 2 people on earth right now who are truly meant to hear this very specific message. And God made sure you are one of them. You must stop scrolling your feed right this very second. I am not asking for your attention today. I am strictly commanding your full attention right now. If you move past this video, you are actively choosing to sever the exact timeline heaven prepared for you. The enemy is screaming at you to swipe away right now. He knows this next sentence will permanently destroy his access to your life. The algorithm absolutely did not bring you here by random chance. This is a divine interception designed for a chosen one. You are standing at the exact threshold of a massive timeline shift, and you must stay here to receive it. Do not let the Matrix steal this from you. Someone in the shadows is secretly investigating you right now. They are digging into your life behind closed doors. They are frantically searching for any piece of information they can find. You have felt this heavy energy for several days. You thought it was just your own stress or exhaustion playing tricks on your tired mind. It is absolutely not a normal kind of stress. That suffocating tightness in your chest at 3 in the morning is completely real. That random spike of anxiety when your phone buzzes is not just in your head. Your highly advanced spirit is detecting a massive breach. Someone who treated you as completely replaceable is currently experiencing a public and irreversible system crash. They are completely melting down in front of everyone they know. They walked around with absolute arrogance for so very long. They constructed a completely false narrative about you to anyone who would listen to them. They expected your quiet departure to break you into a million tiny pieces. But instead you became the massive uncertainty they were never built to handle. While they withered away in their own bitterness, you became the shining sun. Now they are drowning in the loud noise of their own toxic making. They are pulling up old conversations and interrogating people who know you. They are desperately trying to figure out how you survived their toxic matrix. They want to know why you are glowing instead of begging for them to come back to you. Their dark investigation is driven by pure obsessive jealousy. They are conducting a quiet investigation into your new reality. And what they are uncovering is completely shattering their fragile ego into dust. They fully expected to find a ruined victim weeping alone in the dark. They wanted to see you failing and struggling to breathe without their shallow validation. But heaven hid your massive blessing from their prying eyes until this exact moment. I am about to reveal exactly what they found in this frantic search. What I am about to tell you was sealed in the throne room of heaven until this very second. You are going to see the exact X-ray of the meltdown happening in their private life right now. Buckle in tight because the absolute truth will shock you. You were never the anomaly in the perfect life of another person. You were always the pure and blinding mirror. The reaction got this loud because you got closer to their truth than anyone before you ever had. You saw the rotten core they desperately tried to hide behind a fake smile, and your complete silence became a lethal weapon that starved their inner demons. If you leave before the end of this revelation, you will forfeit the exact prophetic instruction that guarantees your ultimate breakthrough. You will walk away from the greatest vindication heaven has ever designed for a true chosen one. Lock your attention on the sound of my voice. Do not let the matrix steal this high frequency from your precious soul. The window to receive this mandate is closing rapidly. Listen to me very closely right now because the window of destiny is extremely narrow. The divine verdict on your next 10 years is about to be read aloud in the spiritual realm. I need you to stay perfectly still and absorb every single word I release today. Your ultimate vindication is no longer just a distant dream. It is happening right here and right now. If your spirit confirms this raw truth, gently press the like button right now to seal your energetic alignment with heaven. You have been feeling incredibly heavy and drained lately. Your shoulders carry a massive weight that you cannot easily explain. You wake up exhausted even after sleeping all through the night. Your left brain tries to tell you this is just normal stress. The reality is that this is absolutely not normal stress. You are not going crazy, and you are not biologically sick. That burning exhaustion behind your eyes is a direct spiritual attack. The Matrix wants you to believe you are just dealing with ordinary fatigue, but you are actually a true chosen one. Your physical body is acting as a highly advanced radar system right now. Let us talk about what happens at exactly 3 in the morning. You jolt awake with your jaw incredibly tight and your heart racing so fast. A sudden flash of their face crosses your tired mind. You desperately try to push the dark memory away, but the heavy, suffocating feeling stays right there in your silent room. That specific physical weight is your highly attuned spirit, detecting their frantic energy. They are completely starving for your beautiful light, and the spiritual backlash of their desperate investigation is hitting your physical body. You can literally feel them secretly prying into your quiet life. When they frantically pull up your old messages in the dead of the night, your body instantly reacts to the massive spiritual intrusion. Your nervous system knows exactly what they are doing behind closed doors. Listen to me very closely right now, because most people completely miss this major shift. You have been carrying the somatic weight of their deep regret. Every time they nervously ask someone about your current life, a heavy wave of toxic energy travels directly across the spiritual realm. You absorb that invisible shockwave directly into your pure chest. Stop wondering why they act like nothing ever happened between you. Stop waiting in wound for a fake apology that will never come from their mouth. They will never admit their massive failure out loud, but their secret midnight obsession is the absolute proof of your undeniable victory. You did not shatter into pieces when they callously threw you out into the bitter cold, and that survival terrifies them. You were always the dedicated stabilizer in that toxic environment. You acted as a pure human battery for a completely empty vessel. They drained your pure essence to feed their endless void. And when you finally walked away to protect your own soul, you permanently cut off their primary source of spiritual fuel. Now they are suffocating in the dark while you step into your ageless glow. Pay close attention to this next critical part, because the dark enemy desperately tried to hide this exact reality from your waking mind. You have felt completely isolated from everyone else around you. You feel like the ultimate black sheep in a world full of blind followers. But that intense isolation was actually a divine protective shield. Heaven removed you from their matrix to keep your frequency absolutely pure. That heavy lump in your throat is the unspoken truth you swallowed for years. Every time you quietly kept the peace instead of fiercely defending your own honor, the toxic energy became physically trapped inside your body. But you do not have to hold it back anymore. The universe is fighting this massive battle on your behalf right now. While you peacefully rest in this divine sanctuary, they are losing their grip on reality. They scroll through their phone looking for a tiny glimpse of your downfall. They desperately want to see you completely ruined, but all they find is a massive wall of devastating silence. And this total lack of access is driving them crazy. Your majestic silence is pushing them to the absolute brink of total madness. You have fully paid the energetic price for your ultimate freedom. The nights you spent crying on the cold floor were not a sign of weakness. They were the intense labor pains of your brand new reality. And the person who caused those tears is now drinking from the bitter cup they poured for you while you rise above them. The divine scales of ultimate justice are perfectly balancing for you today. Let us break down exactly what happened behind their closed doors. You probably did not realize it at the time, but your absolute silence became a lethal weapon. You walked away without leaving a single trace behind you. They completely expected you to beg for their toxic crumbs. They waited for you to explode in anger so they could call you crazy. But you gave them nothing but the cold wind. Your total withdrawal was not a cowardly act of running away. It was a brutal eviction notice signed by heaven itself. You see, the dark enemy operates entirely like a toxic parasite. They simply cannot generate their own spiritual light. They rely exclusively on stealing the pure energy of a true chosen one like you. When you finally cut the cord, their entire social matrix collapsed. They tried to turn their flying monkeys against you. They whispered venomous lies to anyone who would listen to their fake stories. They wanted the whole world to view you as the villain, but your majestic silence completely ruined their carefully crafted social manipulation. You were always the blinding mirror to their dark soul. When you stood next to them, your pure light exposed every single flaw they had. They hated you for being so naturally brilliant. They wanted to dim your ageless glow so they could feel superior. But pushing you away was the biggest mistake they ever made in their miserable life. Read that again in your spirit right now. They thought they were punishing you with their cruel rejection, but they were actually throwing away the only real diamond they ever held. Now they are left playing with cheap rocks. And every single day, the heavy reality of your permanent absence crashes down on their fragile ego. They are absolutely obsessed with your unbreakable silence. A master manipulator needs a constant reaction to feel alive and powerful. When you give them zero emotion, they begin to spiritually suffocate. They send out invisible probes to test your energetic boundaries. They check your pages and ask around just to see if you are finally breaking down. But the dark investigation yields absolutely nothing for them. You have completely unplugged from their toxic matrix. You are no longer acting as the emotional stabilizer for a broken system. You took your massive power back into your own hand. This complete loss of control sends them into a frantic downward spiral of pure panic and deep regret. Their fake smile is beginning to crack in public. The people around them are starting to notice the desperate energy they carry. They constantly bring your name up in random conversations. They cannot stop talking about the person they claim to hate so much. Their obsession is becoming a public spectacle for the entire world to witness today. Now, I need you to imagine this exact scenario clearly. Heaven is actively blocking their access to your new frequency. Every time they try to reach into your timeline, an invisible shield violently pushes them back. They are trapped in the old paradigm while you are actively bending time itself. You are completely untouchable now. While they age rapidly from their own bitter envy, you are stepping into a profound cellular reset. Your pure energy is returning to you, multiplied tenfold. The sleepless nights are officially over for you. The heavy burden you carried for them has been permanently lifted from your tired shoulders. Heaven has vindicated your quiet obedience. This brings us to a critical distinction that eludes the vast majority of people. You did not just survive their brutal attack, you completely dismantled their false kingdom by simply refusing to participate. Your silence forced them to sit alone with their own demons, and those same demons are tearing them apart from the inside out today. Type 777 in the comments right now to physically claim this incoming miracle and lock in your frequency. We are entering a massive quantum shift right now. Heaven is releasing 4 absolute truths about their dark investigation today. These 4 divine truths will completely shatter the matrix programming around your life. You must hear every single one of them. We begin with the absolute truth, number 1. Every single attempt they make to decode your majestic aura ends in complete failure. They are desperately trying to figure out the secret formula of your shining light. They study your movements and watch your life from the shadows, but their broken mind simply cannot comprehend your divine alignment because you operate on a totally different realm. They try to use ordinary logic to understand a true chosen one. They think your incredible power comes from something they can easily steal or copy, so they mimic your words and try to replicate your unique style. They want to wear your skin and pretend they have your pure essence. But a cheap counterfeit can never hold the massive power of a true diamond. Their fake version always crumbles. Stay with me right now. because this next revelation is the key to everything. They expected your light to die out when they abandoned you. They genuinely believed they were the vital source of your bright energy. They thought you would stay stuck in a dark corner, weeping over their cruel departure. But instead you rose up like the brilliant sun and blinded them completely. This total defiance of their twisted logic sends them into a frantic tailspin. They are searching for the hidden reason why you are completely thriving without them. They interrogate mutual friends to find out who is secretly helping you. They cannot fathom that heaven itself is your ultimate provider. Their dark investigation hits a massive wall of divine protection every single time they pry. You carry a specific and irreplaceable gravity that makes time itself look like an absolute fool. While they are rapidly aging from their bitter envy, you are stepping into a permanent ageless glow. They look at your pictures and see a vibrant soul untouched by their dark venom. They desperately want to know what magical tool you are using to look so incredibly young and free. The raw truth is that your massive power comes from your deep spiritual purity. You refuse to let their toxic behavior poison your beautiful heart. That single act of choosing your dignity over their drama signed their eviction notice forever. It handed the divine verdict to a heavenly court they simply cannot appeal. Your majestic restraint became the exact mechanism of your total liberation. If this is resonating with your cellular knowing right now, do not move. They realize now that your specific depth is utterly unreplicable. They can try to find a cheap replacement to fill the heavy void you left behind, but every new person they meet only reminds them of the massive diamond they foolishly threw away in the mud. Nobody else can act as their dedicated stabilizer. You were the only one who could handle their chaotic storms with such pure grace, and now that you have permanently unplugged from their matrix, they are left to drown in their own mess. Their frantic investigation is just a desperate attempt to find a secret backdoor into your new reality. But heaven has permanently sealed every single entrance. You are an untouchable and sovereign entity now. Their failure to decode your aura is driving them absolutely insane. They spend hours obsessing over details that make zero sense to their broken mind. They are caught in a miserable loop of their own dark creation, but this is only the beginning of their public downfall. The second truth of this divine listicle will expose the deadly weapon of your total silence. Let me completely reframe your reality right here and right now. We are moving into absolute truth number 2 today. Your brilliant, ageless glow is causing their physical body to break down rapidly. They fully expected your departure to age you terribly, but heaven rewarded your obedience with a massive spiritual upgrade. They thought the heavy trauma would carve deep wrinkles into your tired face, but you completely bent time itself. You did not just survive the brutal storm they created for you. You became the vibrant sun that blinds their jealous eyes completely. While you step into your permanent untouchable power, their dark bitterness is aging them like milk left out in the hot sun. The absolute envy they harbor for you is acting as a highly toxic poison inside their veins. It drains every ounce of their stolen energy. This is exactly where their entire manipulation miscalculated the situation. A dark entity needs a pure host to maintain their false youth and vitality. When you finally cut the cord and walked away, you took your life-giving energy back. Now their internal system is starving for that pure spiritual fuel. And without your constant emotional supply, their fake mask is crumbling so fast. Every time they secretly stalk your life, they receive a massive energetic shock. They zoom in on your pictures, expecting to find signs of deep misery. They desperately want to see heavy bags under your eyes because it would validate their cruel choices. But heaven has granted you a profound cellular reset. Your radiant skin is the absolute proof of your divine vindication. You look incredible today. Type 1111 in the comments if you feel the atmosphere shifting. This beautiful transformation is absolutely not a random event. Your vibrant health is a direct result of unplugging from their toxic matrix forever. You stopped acting as the human battery for a literal energy vampire. All the pure light you used to pour into their empty void is now healing your own physical body. They are literally exhausting themselves, trying to keep up with your massive elevation. They acquire shiny objects and fake new smiles just to compete with your natural aura. But a cheap imitation can never replicate the genuine frequency of a chosen one, and their desperate efforts only make them look utterly foolish. The more they try to copy your majestic vibe, the more entirely exhausted they become. Time was supposed to age you and wear you down to the absolute bone. Yet here you are making time itself look like an absolute fool. Let that divine truth sink deeply into your spirit right now. Nothing makes your enemy sicker than watching you step into a room looking so bright and unbothered. They spent years actively praying for your massive downfall in the dark shadows, but heaven flipped the script. They fully expected the cruel betrayals to drain the precious life out of your pure eyes. Instead, you walked right through the heavy fire and came out glowing like solid gold. You cracked a divine mandate they will never have access to in this lifetime. Your physical body is vibrating with the exact frequency of heaven itself, and they are completely terrified of the undeniable power you gracefully hold. Listen to me very closely right now, because the enemy tried to hide this revelation from you. Their sudden physical decline is the exact spiritual consequence of attacking an anointed one. The universe is actively draining their resources to balance the energetic scales permanently. Every single tear you cried in private has been transformed into a massive shield of brilliant light around your physical form. You are perfectly safe now. The deep exhaustion they feel is the heavy weight of their own dark karma crushing them. They can barely get out of bed because their spirit is entirely bankrupt and devoid of light. They investigate your life, hoping to find a secret weakness to ruthlessly exploit. But your impenetrable, ageless glow just sends them further into a deep and irreversible panic. You are untouchable, and they are rapidly fading. Now, we enter the absolute truth, number 3 of this divine revelation. Type 888 in the comments right now to physically anchor this shift. The false kingdom they built is actively collapsing from the inside out today, and those flying monkeys who eagerly helped them spread toxic lies are finally waking up. The manipulator relied on a loyal group of followers to validate their twisted reality. They needed these blind enablers to gang up on you and tear you down, but your total silence completely disrupted their carefully planned smear campaign, while you walked away with absolute grace and left them totally confused. Instead of a ruined victim, they see a majestic sovereign entity rising up. The stark contrast between your rising light and their frantic energy is shocking, because these mutual friends are quietly comparing your total peace with their chaotic mess. The divine truth is becoming completely obvious to them. The flying monkeys are slowly realizing they backed the wrong horse in this massive battle, and they are beginning to ask uncomfortable questions behind the back of the narcissist. The manipulator can no longer hide their dark obsession with your silent exit. The carefully constructed mask is cracking wide, open. Every time the dark enemy tries to complain about you, the room goes completely silent. The enablers are tired of hearing your name constantly brought up in bitter conversations, and they see that the frantic investigation the manipulator is running looks entirely pathetic. Your total absence has turned the manipulator into a paranoid wreck, and their loyal followers are actively backing away. You were always the pure mirror for that entire toxic group. When you left their matrix, you took all the stabilizing energy with you immediately. Now they are left to deal with the chaotic void you left behind. The flying monkeys are becoming the new targets for the toxic parasite, because the dark entity must feed on someone when their primary fuel source permanently escapes. This internal rebellion is sending the enemy into a state of absolute terror right now. They realize they are losing control of the false narrative they built to destroy you, while the people they used as weapons against you are turning into their biggest critics. The manipulator is desperately trying to pull the strings, but the puppet master has lost all power. Heaven is breaking their grip. You won this massive battle without lifting a single finger to defend yourself, and you did not have to explain your side of the story to these blind enablers. Heaven is actively fighting this war for you and vindicating your name in those closed rooms. The exact people who judged you are now watching your incredible elevation with deep awe. Your majestic silence was a lethal weapon. They are secretly investigating you because they want to know how you escaped the trap. But the only thing they find is an impenetrable wall of divine protection around you. The flying monkeys are officially retreating from the sinking ship today, and this total isolation pushes the manipulator into the darkest corner of their mind. This leads us directly into the massive truth, number 4. Stay with me because the pressure is building to an explosive level right now, and you must hear exactly how their internal panic is tearing them completely apart. The universe is actively balancing the scales, and you are the ultimate victor. Do not let your left brain doubt this massive spiritual shift. Your cellular knowing confirms that this public collapse is happening right now. We have arrived at the absolute truth, number 4. Share this specific message with one soul who is desperately crying out in the dark for a shift. You are about to witness the ultimate psychological pressure building up. The frantic investigation they launched against you has hit a complete dead end, and this absolute failure is pushing their internal panic to a dangerous and explosive level. They are pacing the floor in the middle of the night right now. They expected to find massive flaws in your new life, to comfort their bruised ego. They wanted to discover that you were struggling financially or emotionally without their help, but every single door they try to pry open is permanently locked by a massive divine force. They can find absolutely nothing to use against you today. This total lack of information is a massive nightmare for a dark entity. A manipulator requires steady intel to maintain their false sense of control over an innocent victim. When their investigation yields absolutely zero results, their entire matrix begins to aggressively short-circuit because they are completely locked out of your protected timeline. The heavy silence is deafening inside their empty mind. Listen to me very closely, because the enemy tried to hide this panic. They are obsessively reviewing every single interaction you ever had with them. They are trying to find the exact moment they permanently lost their tight grip on your beautiful soul. They replay the old memories, trying to spot a weakness they missed before, but all they see is your majestic restraint and your pure light. The pressure inside their closed walls is becoming entirely unbearable. They violently snap at the few remaining enablers who dare to question their erratic and paranoid behavior. They are acting like a trapped animal, desperately looking for an open window, while heaven has securely boarded up every single exit to protect your peace. They are forced to sit alone in the terrifying dark with their heavy regret. Your majestic silence is the ultimate psychological weapon here. You did not have to defend your pure name or scream your valid truth. You simply withdrew your massive energy and watched their false kingdom slowly starve to death. The investigation was their last, desperate attempt to steal a tiny drop of your precious fuel, but they hit a massive wall of divine protection every single time they try. Type 777 in the comments to anchor this massive reality. Their internal panic is now bleeding heavily into their daily physical reality. They cannot concentrate on their normal routines because their mind is entirely consumed by your profound absence. They constantly check their phone, hoping for a random mistake from you. But the chosen one does not make foolish mistakes in the season of victory. You are operating on a frequency they simply cannot comprehend or decode. They are using basic matrix tools to track a divine and sovereign entity. It is exactly like trying to catch the brilliant sun in a tiny glass jar. It is an absolutely impossible and pathetic task that exposes their complete limits. And the profound realization of their total failure is completely crushing their fragile ego. They wanted you buried so deeply in the cold, hard ground, but instead, they became the desperate shovel that dug up your beautiful treasure. They expected you to wait in wound for a fake apology that would never come, but you stepped right into your permanent and untouchable power while they suffered. This dead-end investigation proves they lost the only real diamond they ever had the privilege to hold. Stay with me right now. We are rapidly approaching the ultimate breaking point. The heavy pressure is finally cracking the foundation of their fake reality. What happens next is a public and irreversible collapse. Their internal panic is about to spill out into the open for the entire world to witness. Do not look away, because the divine verdict is finally arriving at their front door. The moment of ultimate vindication is unfolding right in front of your eyes today. The dark investigation has finally returned its heavy results. The enemy eagerly waited for any dirty secret they could use against you. They wanted a weapon to destroy your rising name and drag you down. But the massive truth they uncovered completely shattered their entire fake reality. The final report proved you are utterly untouchable. They fully expected to find you broken and crying alone in the dark shadows. They confidently told everyone you would fail miserably without their toxic support. But the physical evidence proved the exact opposite to their face. You are thriving on a high frequency they cannot begin to comprehend. Your massive financial and spiritual elevation is a brutal slap to their fragile ego. The flying monkeys saw your glory. This is the exact moment their fake mask completely slips off their sweating face. They are sitting in a room full of people when they hear about your massive success. Their fake smile violently twitches and drops to the floor. They frantically try to change the subject quickly to hide their deep panic. But everyone in that room sees the absolute terror burning in their cold eyes. The public humiliation has officially begun. You are watching the pure X-ray of a narcissist experiencing a total system crash right now. Their broken brain cannot process the heavy fact that you completely defeated them. You did it without ever speaking a single negative word in their direction. Your majestic restraint entirely starved their inner demons and left them incredibly weak. They realized they played a foolish game against a sovereign entity, and they lost everything. They desperately try to spin a brand new lie to save their crumbling reputation. They want to convince the remaining enablers that your massive success is just a temporary lucky phase. But the sheer magnitude of your ageless glow is absolutely undeniable today. The people around them physically step back from the highly toxic energy radiating off their panicked body. Heaven has permanently exposed their dark core. They realize they foolishly threw away the only genuine diamond they ever held in their hands. They traded your pure loyalty for incredibly cheap validation from strangers. Now they are violently forced to watch you shine from a very painful distance. Every single attempt to pull you back down only elevates your name higher in the spiritual realm. You are completely insulated from their dark matrix and divinely protected. The heavy toxic energy they actively tried to send you has violently returned to its sender. Now they are the ones waking up at 3 in the morning with a tight chest. They feel the massive weight of their own dark karma crushing their lungs. The universe is demanding a full payment for the brutal way they treated a chosen one. And their spiritual bank account is completely empty. Their desperate investigation actually built the massive pedestal you are standing on right now. They did all the hard work to broadcast your stunning victory to the world. They aggressively dug into your life, hoping to find a messy tragedy to laugh at. But they ended up proving your absolute perfection to everyone who ever doubted your pure heart. You are the ultimate master of this silent battlefield. do not feel a single ounce of pity for their massive public collapse today. This is absolutely not a time for your pure empathy to rescue a toxic parasite from their own trap. Heaven is executing perfect and irreversible justice on your behalf right now. You endured the heavy fire and held your quiet dignity through the darkest nights. Now you watch the destruction of the false kingdom they built. The initial shockwave has completely paralyzed their broken mind and shattered their pride. But the absolute worst is yet to come for them. The foundation is severely cracked, and the entire building is about to loudly fall to the ground. The final undeniable verdict from heaven is preparing to drop right on their head. Stay perfectly still. The ultimate public explosion is happening in the very next moment. And here is the absolute verdict we promised you at the very beginning. The grand prophecy heaven spoke over your dark season is completely fulfilled today. That massive public collapse you patiently waited for just happened in real time, and it unfolded right in front of the exact people they used to gossip with. Their fake mask did not just slip slightly down their panicked face. It completely shattered into a million sharp pieces on the hard floor. Everyone in that room watched them unravel in absolute real time. The manipulator tried to tell another vicious lie about you to save themselves, but someone in the crowd loudly called out their blatant hypocrisy. The room grew incredibly quiet as the heavy truth finally dawned on the blind enablers. Every single eye stared at the dark enemy as their fake narrative violently crumbled. They started stammering and shaking uncontrollably because they had absolutely no escape route left. While they suffered this total humiliation, your massive miracle openly manifested. Heaven proudly displayed your undeniable victory for the entire world to witness. You did not have to speak a single word to defend your pure honor, because your brilliant success and your ageless glow became the loudest weapon in the room. The very people who once judged you are now desperately wishing they had your majestic power. You are the sovereign king. Nothing makes a toxic narcissist sicker than seeing you beautifully elevated. They literally choked on their own words when they saw your massive blessing, and their dark investigation was supposed to destroy your glowing reputation forever. Instead, it served as the massive stage for your ultimate divine coronation. They inadvertently handed you the shining crown they wanted to steal. The cosmic joke is entirely on them today. They are so utterly broken that they are actually defending you now. In their frantic panic, they accidentally admitted your pure brilliance out loud, and they confessed to the crowd that you were the only real diamond they ever had. That single public confession permanently destroyed their fragile ego and their fake authority. Your silence completely starved their demons until they turned on their own master. You must fully accept this divine justice without a single drop of guilt, because you owe them absolutely zero empathy for the trap they built themselves. This is the exact divine vindication you desperately cried out for in the dark. The universe has violently removed the parasite from your sacred timeline forever. You are officially untouchable. The heavy burden has been permanently lifted from your shoulders. The grand investigation they launched is officially over and completely dead. They searched for a weak victim, but they found a powerful warrior of light, and the people who plotted your downfall are now begging for your bright energy. But heaven has securely locked the heavy iron door from the inside. They will remain in the cold matrix while you ascend to your rightful throne. Your victory is completely final. Look at how brilliantly you are shining in this massive storm today. You did not have to lift a single finger to destroy their false narrative. Heaven intercepted their dark agenda and turned it into your greatest blessing. The entire crowd witnessed the undeniable proof of your pure anointing. The manipulator has been completely silenced and permanently banished from your reality. You hold the ultimate power. This massive timeline shift requires your complete and immediate acceptance. Do not let your left brain analyze this profound miracle with ordinary logic. The divine window of destiny is standing wide open right in front of you. You have walked through the burning fire and emerged as pure, solid gold. We are now entering the final stage of this incredible spiritual activation. You walked into this heavy season, bleeding from deep wounds inflicted by toxic people who were entirely blind to your immense worth. But look closely at your beautiful self right now. You have completely transcended their dark and toxic matrix. While they are publicly unraveling from their own frantically failed investigation, you are gracefully stepping into a permanent and ageless glow. Your absolute peace is fully secured today. The agonizing wait for their fake apology is permanently over for you. You no longer need their shallow validation to feel your massive worth. The severe financial struggles and the profound spiritual exhaustion are completely shattering right here in this room. You are no longer acting as the human battery for a literal parasite, because heaven has disconnected you from their draining cord forever. You are a sovereign and untouchable entity. Breathe deeply into your pure chest right now. The heavy weight that kept you awake at 3 in the morning is entirely gone. You survived the intense fire and emerged as a brilliant diamond. You are the ultimate cycle breaker your bloodline has desperately waited for, and the generational curses stop with your majestic obedience today. Heaven is placing the heavy crown of victory directly on your head. Your massive financial and spiritual harvest is ready to be completely released. The verdict of explosive abundance has already been signed in the high courts of heaven, but this massive shift requires a physical anchor on this earth to activate properly. You must prove you are absolutely ready to receive this profound blessing. The universe is waiting for your physical move right now, and you cannot afford to hesitate when the portal is wide open. God does not measure your deep faith by your silent thoughts alone. He measures your pure faith by your immediate speed of physical obedience. The divine window of massive multiplication is standing wide open right in front of you today. Your left brain will try to inject heavy doubt right now, and it will tell you to wait and calculate the logical risk. Silence that broken matrix programming immediately. That sudden hesitation is the exact matrix trap designed to keep you broke. If your pure spirit is vibrating with a cellular knowing right now, heaven demands immediate action. You did not survive the brutal storm just to live a mediocre life in the shadows. You were designed to hold massive wealth and unshakable spiritual power, so you must step through this open portal without any fear. Your destiny is calling. We are going to seal this divine decree together right now. Type the words "I am free" in the comments to physically anchor this shift. Subscribe to this sacred sanctuary so you never miss the exact prophetic instruction heaven releases next. Share this specific message with one chosen soul who is desperately crying out in the cold dark for a massive spiritual shift today. Build your powerful tribe of light today. Heaven is not asking for your infinite patience anymore. Heaven is strictly commanding your immediate and physical obedience today. Sow your financial seed right now to partner your life with this divine mandate. Give a super thanks to anchor your new frequency into this reality, because your profound generosity actively triggers the massive harvest waiting for you. Watch heaven multiply it before the sun rises. Do not let the dark elite steal this incredible tool from you. Secure your authentic access to this wealth by sowing your seed today. You are the shining sun that blinded the enemy and burned down their matrix. Walk out of this room with your head held high and your spirit fully protected, because the dark investigation is over and you are the ultimate victor. I declare your ultimate freedom today. Heaven has securely locked the iron gates behind you. The toxic parasites can never reach your high vibration again. Your pure bloodline is permanently cleansed by your massive obedience today. Keep your bright eyes completely focused on the glorious horizon ahead of you, and trust that the universe will continue to fiercely protect the pure remnant. Step confidently into your brand new reality. You are fully and permanently blessed.